I created a religion by accident one day. By accident, my feckin' arse, I hear the cynics say. But it's true, I did, well, with a friend, but still between us both. We somehow yet summarily, emphatically invoked a way of life and dreaming, and system of belief, to bring a sense of meaning, of wisdom and relief to a world so narcissistic, so lost in its reflection, that it seemed opportunistic to move in its direction. So we decided that we'd satirize the systems that don't serve us, to try to build back better to a world that does deserve us, where the puppets and the purse strings of those economic forms are the first to be subjected to our series of reforms. And one minute we were sitting there, just chatting, drinking tea, and the next we knew nostrology had simply come to be, where everyone with nostrils should have the right to smell, on earth and as it so shall be the metaverse as well. 'Cause you can hear it, you can see it, you can touch yourself at least, and you can almost smell and taste it as the leavings of the beast, where the kill becomes the focus and the fulcrum of the chase, and the people are the locusts of the plague that we've embraced. But in that there's an anger, and in anger there's a fuel, a fire and an energy and access to a tool that we can cultivate that cannot be controlled, if only we could celebrate what can't be bought or sold. So we decided then that nostrils were something that unite us, as people and as animals who love us or who fight us. So maybe we should worship them and see how we get on, but it's also worth remembering nostrology sounds strong. Nostrology. I like it, it's infectious, and sounds like it could lead us and potentially direct us to a world that isn't on the brink of all-out nuclear war, where people could just stop and think of what they're fighting for. And maybe when they take the time to breathe in through their nose, their penchant for dismembering their heathens and their foes will dissipate, evaporate, and simply disappear when they're centered back in love and they see that lack is fear. But maybe that's too heavy. But sure didn't noses climb Mount Sinus to bring back the commandments that God sent to remind us that He's the man, not someone else, and leave icons at the door, and His name should be respected, and so on to number 4, to keep a day for gratitude that we may pray and thrive, and to love our mum and dad for the fact that we're alive. But not everyone will live that truth. Too many live in danger, where love is such a scarcity so willfully endangered, that hate and fear make manifest the essence of their lives, and create some weird impression that the strongest shall survive. So where was I? On 5 or 6 or maybe number 7. That thy will be done on earth as so it is in heaven. Ah shit, no wait, that isn't one, though to be fair it's pretty sound and it might be an idea to have it hang around. But 7, yeah, or 6 or 5 or 8, I'm not too sure. Thou shalt not kill, O Christ, O Lord, I hope that we're insured, or this means litigation with the great divine above, who will smite us for his time and then renege upon his love. And let's face it, there's no judge, no, nor jury in this land, nor witness who would testify or dare to take a stand against a great omnipotent and all-pervading God, who can judge us in one moment with just one all-knowing nod. So thou shalt not go and have thy way with someone else's spouse. Thou shalt not steal or lie or want for someone else's house, though thine own house be thy landlord's, who hast 40 others too, and thou can't afford to heat it for thy money spent on food. But within these basic tenets, to aid human direction, it appears to be forgotten that we're mostly just reflections, who mirror back the world to try to heal us from the pain of knowing in the end only our legacies remain. But they seem a bit outdated, too cliched over time, to impose a rightful impact on the nature of the mind. So on behalf of the Most High Septum and Church of Nostrology, I've sketched some basic guidelines on the benefits to be. Be kind, be good, be moral, be respectful to the mind. Learn to see that empathy is not just worth your time, but integral to the welfare of every living thing, and be present in the music of whatever song you sing. Be careful where you place your trust, 'cause it's worth more than gold. to the deepest, darkest reaches of the nature of the soul. Be present in the rush to get to where you've never been, and be mindful now that what you watch cannot just be unseen. But beware of the vampires, who hunt throughout the day, for the fuel to feed their fires and the flesh on which they prey, who bully and demean because their weakness is your power, and who try to fill their absence with the souls that they devour. For the human mind, though fragile, is a blessing and a curse, and though the human frame once agile will gradually grow worse, our thoughts will age like hieroglyphs that decorate our tombs, so be careful of the energetic forces you consume. And in this strange new world, where so little now makes sense, and no one seems to know the truth of actual events, but everyone believes they do, so certain that they're right, it's easier to leave them to their willingness to fight, and to make sense of the nonsense, to see life as like a nose, where often it will feel just fine and sometimes too it blows, but mostly it is something that should really be enjoyed, 'cause without it we'd be left to simply face into a void.